beyond broken. It has been to some degree ever since Musk bought it in October of 2022. But this takes the cake. Okay, so let's back it up. Okay, so in October 2022, Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion. By the end of October, it was only worth $19 billion. So it was already, he was running it into the ground. And now, apparently, it's worth $6 billion. So it just keeps getting worse. But some people speculate that Musk bought Twitter deliberately to break it, because it's the one place where people tell the truth. And he wanted to turn it into a right-wing dystopian hellscape. So mission accomplished, I guess. All right, so anyways, there have been many problems with Twitter ever since he bought it. So in November of 2022, I did a video, Is Twitter Okay? So when Musk took over Twitter, he basically fired everyone. There were mass layoffs. So he was working with a skeleton crew and didn't seem to know what he was doing. And things were falling apart. Like, there have been glitches, bugs, problems ever since, off and on. Things like you go to tweet something and your tweet just disappears, or you're trying to reply to someone, you get booted out of it. At one point, GIFs weren't working, so I started making memes of my cat Allie, which actually turned into a lot of cute Allie videos, so that was kind of a good thing. But yeah, there have been problems off and on. And then this year, recently, I had issues with replies being hidden. So my number one ally on Twitter is Mr. Manga Jojo. We tweet back and forth, and for a while their replies were hidden from me, so I just couldn't see them. And I realized when I wasn't logged in, so I'd look at my tweet and it would say show hidden replies, and it would say replies hidden for offensive content, but none of her replies were offensive. Then when I logged in, I could see them, but only if I clicked on the tweet. Like, they weren't showing up in my notifications. They weren't showing up in a search. She was hidden from me. So I had heard about people being shadow banned. Shadow banned is when you're not exactly banned from Twitter, but your tweets are suppressed, your replies are hidden, you're not showing up. It's like just pushing you down, right? So the algorithm seems to favor right-wing disinformation minimizers, and seems to hurt the cautious alarmist community, which I'm part of. Because I even noticed, okay, even some big major accounts that I follow who are, you know, alarmists and give COVID information, I would type their name in a search and they weren't showing up top of the list, which they should, because I follow them and I retweet them all the time, and they wouldn't show up at all, and I'd have to scroll way down the list. So it's like Twitter, Musk has been suppressing the cautious community for a while now. And the irony is, he claimed that he wanted free speech, but what he's really done is given a platform to hate speech. Now there isn't as much content moderation. He's allowing more harassment and hate speech, but he's suppressing and banning accounts that he doesn't like. Like, there was one account that followed Elon Musk's jet and showed all of its activities, which apparently is free information that anybody could look up, but this person had an account on. Well, Musk didn't like that, and he wanted the account taken down. So now that he owned Twitter, guess what? He could take it down, and he can ban and suppress anyone he doesn't like. How is that free speech if you're only allowing people to speak that you want to, and you're trying to suppress everyone else? Well, now, okay, so lately, there's been another new change to Twitter. Used to be, you could see Twitter even if you weren't logged in. You could go on a profile, you could do a search, like you could search COVID, and you can look up tweets. You could do all that without being logged in, which, you know, there's a lot of information on Twitter, and you should be able to access it. Now, nope. For the last while, it's been, you have to log in. You cannot see Twitter at all if you're not logged in. So you have to log in, and now, this was the last straw, okay? So now Musk has done this thing where there's a rate limit. Okay, even before this, like a week ago, I guess 2 weeks ago now, I was tweeting and all of a sudden it said tweet limit. You've reached your tweet limit. And I was like, you've reached the limit of my patience. all of a sudden, I just couldn't tweet anymore. Like, that was it. No, and the irony was, I was about to log out. I was only going to tweet a few more things, but it wouldn't let me. And then I sent a couple of angry messages to a couple of friends. And next thing you know, I tried it again just for fun, and it worked. And someone told me that the same thing happened to them. It said, you've reached your tweet limit. But if you wait a few minutes, it lets you tweet again. So there have been signs for a while that it's falling apart. It's just falling apart. And it's a shame because I love Twitter. I've been on Twitter since 2009. And at the time it was to promote my music, but it became like kind of an online diary, sharing thoughts, sharing photos, and connecting with other people in the community. I used to live tweet The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise. I'm not doing that anymore because now actually I've been getting migraines, which I never used to, but you know, getting older. I'm getting migraines and eye strain. So I'm limiting my time on the computer. So now I actually only go on Twitter 3 days a week. I was doing Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Now I'm doing Tuesday, Thursday, and Catterday. So I doom scroll on Tuesday and Thursday, and on Catterday, I just share cat tweets. No doom scrolling on Saturday. But yeah, so I mean, I have been limiting my time online. And I found the last time that I tried to live tweet a show, because not only am I getting migraines, but my vision is changing. It's harder for me to switch back and forth between like viewing at a distance and close up. So live tweeting was really hard on me because like I'm trying to look at the TV and then the computer, and I don't have bifocals. So it was really a strain. So anyway, long story short, I'm not live tweeting anymore. I still love The Bachelorette and it's a great season, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm limiting my time on Twitter. So, I mean, I used to be on there every day and it was a lot. I mean, doom scrolling every day. I want to be informed, but I don't want to be inundated. It's too much and it's too much stress. And then with my eyes and everything, I'm like, I need to take a break. So I am spending less time on Twitter, but the days that I'm on there, I want to be able to read and tweet as much as I want. Well, now, okay, so Musk has created this new thing, a rate limit. So I was on Twitter on Catterday, July 1st, and all of a sudden I get this error message saying rate limit exceeded. So I was like, what the heck does that even mean? It wasn't just me because it started trending. Twitter down and rate limit exceeded were trending because it was happening to everyone. So a lot of people like me who scroll through a lot of tweets, we were getting this rate limit exceeded. So I was furious. So I posted a few angry tweets, but then I thought I'm going to look, once I logged out of Twitter, I looked online and there were several articles about it. So apparently Musk's explanation is that there was too much data scraping from artificial intelligence. I guess ChatGPT is using Twitter as like a language course or something, and it's just gathering all this data and stealing it so that they can learn how to make conversation. I don't know. I mean, that could be partly true. Maybe that is happening. But would you not, oh, I don't know, increase your security measures, have something that can weed out the difference between a human being and a robot, like have a CAPTCHA or something? I don't know. But to limit everyone's tweets, that they can't scroll, they can't read, and they can't tweet past a certain number, like it's a social media site. Engagement is the goal. How do you then put a limit on that? How do you cut that off? That's like having an all-you-can-eat buffet, but only one plate. That's like having a store-wide sale, but oh no, don't have too many items in your cart. 10 items or less. Like, are you trying to make any money? You're going to be driving users off the site. You're driving advertisers off the site. Advertisers are already leaving in droves because they can see how incompetent and ridiculous. It's like freaking crazy Wild West Twitter. So this is completely insane. Like, how do you limit the number of tweets? I mean, and if this is to punish AI, that's like setting your house on fire to kill a fly. You're punishing everyone, not just these robots. And we're not buying that as an explanation. I mean, Musk does the most random things, and the explanations he gives are always false. Okay, case in point. Randomly in April, he changed the Twitter icon from a bird to a dog, the Doge, you know, for Dogecoin. So people were like, what is going on? I mean, Twitter is a sound that a bird makes. That's why it's called Twitter. And that's why they're called tweets. A dog doesn't tweet. Why would having an icon of a dog make any sense? So it turns out, not coincidentally, that, oh, Musk had some racketeering lawsuit against him because of Dogecoin. So to deflect attention away from that, he puts the Doge as the icon so that people will be talking about Doge for that reason. And they're not going to find out the real reason that he's embarrassed about Doge. So anyway, I posted a few tweets. I couldn't help myself. The problem with crazy narcissistic psychopaths like Musk is you will never get the real story. You will never know why he's doing things. I mean, maybe he's just an agent of chaos. He's an anarchist. He just wants to burn everything down. I mean, maybe someone's even paying him to break Twitter, because really it is the only place where you can still find the truth. The government is lying and gaslighting. Even public health is lying and gaslighting. And the media just echoes whatever the government and public health are saying. The only place where you can still find the most up-to-date scientific data on COVID-19, on climate emergency, on all of the existential threats that we currently face is on Twitter. Twitter tells the truth. And they're trying to suppress that. They're trying to censor that. So this new rate limit, apparently originally he said that the paid accounts, the verified users, because now you have, that's the other thing. Musk changed that now, instead of just celebrities automatically having a blue check mark to verify who they are because they're celebrities. Oh no, now you have to pay for that privilege. So, and you don't even have to be a celebrity because they'll take money from anyone. You could be some freaking Nazi troll and you can still pay for a blue check. So the blue check is meaningless now. Just another way that Twitter has lost all credibility. But anyway, so he's trying to make his $8 for the blue check. Well, and a lot of people won't pay it. So now he's trying to blackmail people into getting a blue check. So the limits on tweets, if you're verified, you can read 10,000 tweets. Apparently used to be 6,000, but people were complaining, so he raised the tally. So if you're verified, you can read 6,000 tweets. If you're unverified, you can read 600. And if you're a new unverified user, you can only read 300 tweets. Well, here's the really stupid part, okay? First of all, if you have paid for a blue check, if you're a paid user, shouldn't it be unlimited? Shouldn't you be able to scroll to your little heart's content? Why is the cap still at 10,000? And if you're unverified, like, how does it tell how many tweets you've read? Because, you know, when I scroll through my notifications, there are hundreds of tweets that I'm a part of that were directly to me. So I scroll through those to get to the ones that are direct replies to me. But by the time I get there, that could already be like 100 or 1,000 tweets. I don't know. He's trying to limit how many tweets he can read. It doesn't even make sense. It's a social media site. The whole point is engagement. You want to be reading tweets. You want to be tweeting. You want to be scrolling. Like, he should want you to scroll forever. And advertisers, why would anyone advertise now when they know the users can't even scroll for more than a few minutes and then they're going to be cut off? Are you serious? And then he said this is just a temporary measure without even saying, well, when's the end date? And also, if you're going to put a limit, a rate limit, you should have like a tweet counter to tell the person so they have some warning, because now they have to ration their tweets. Like my doom scroll, now I've got to decide, okay, what am I actually going to scroll? Because I don't want to exceed my rate limit before I'm even done. Like, it's so insane. I just can't. I mean, he is ruining Twitter. He's breaking Twitter. He's destroying it. And now, of course, even back in November when I did the other video, a lot of people that I knew and followed were migrating to other sites. There were several of them. There was Counter Social, there was Tribal, there was Mastodon. Mastodon was a big one. A lot of people were going to that. And some of my friends were trying to convince me to go. And it's like, at this point in my life, I can't start from scratch on another site. Like, I just don't have it in me. I mean, I'm faithful to Twitter. I love Twitter, and Twitter's my jam. And YouTube, obviously. I love YouTube. Please, for the love of God, don't let Elon Musk buy YouTube. Whatever you do. Like, stop letting bored billionaires buy sites just to destroy them. Like, I've always loved Twitter, but now he's ruining it. He's ruining it for people like me. And it's like he's trying to drive us off the site. Like, he wanted to break it. Maybe that's why he bought it. You know, to push out people like me. And really, in the scheme of things, I mean, I know my tweets aren't that important. I'm just an individual. It's a personal account. I just share my views. I retweet a lot of the alarmists. I share COVID information and climate emergency information. But really, I'm just a person. But what about companies? What about agencies that share information? What about, you know, people sharing emergency services, sharing information, weather networks? Like, Twitter is the most up-to-date news you can get. Like, when there's a tornado or anything happens, Twitter, like, it's instantly, you see it, like, it'll start trending, and you see all these tweets and you see videos in real time. Like, that is so important. And now to think that people are being, you know, restricted from getting that information, life-saving information is being denied to them. Now people can't even see Twitter at all if they're not logged in. If they're logged in, you know, if they happen to pay for an account, they can see a whopping 10,000 tweets if they want to, but then that's it. Even they're cut off, even if they pay. And then the people that haven't paid, you know, like me, I would never pay for Twitter. It's supposed to be free. So, you know, you scroll through 1,000 tweets and maybe you didn't even read them. Maybe you're just scrolling and then you're cut off. Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And what gets me is, it would be very hard to prove whether Musk is just incompetent, like whether he's just an idiot and doesn't know what he's doing, or whether this is deliberate sabotage. And here's a quote from Musk himself. "Incompetence in the limit is indistinguishable from sabotage." Elon Musk tweeted that in May of this year. That seems like a bit of a confession. I think this is on purpose. He's trying to break it. He's trying to burn it down. He's trying to drive users like me off the site, drive away advertisers, just let the whole thing burn to the ground, because that was the one place where people told the truth. And of course, now all these sites are rising up to take its place. There is a site called Blue Sky, which was started by Jack Dorsey, and it's seen like a huge flood of people migrating there because with all this nonsense going on at Twitter. But apparently it's by invitation only. So even if I got an invitation, like I said, I'm not starting from scratch on a new site. I can't. I don't have it in me. Like, I have over 10,000, 11,000, whatever it is, followers on Twitter. I'm not building that from like one person at a time on another site. I'm not like, and I don't have it in me. And I'm spending less time online anyway because I'm having problems with my eyes and migraines, and the less time I spend on the computer, the better. So yeah, so I'm not starting on a new site, but it will be sad to let it go. I mean, I'm so isolated now. We're home all the time. Twitter is my connection to the world, to the outside world. It's my community. It's, the closest I come to social interaction. I've cut off my friends and family because they're all reckless, let it rip anti-maskers now. And I can't relate to them, and I don't approve of them. So I avoid them. Twitter is like my family. Twitter is where people, you know, that mask, that are careful, that acknowledge the risks of SARS-2 and long COVID. I relate to these people. These are my people. And now can't even interact with them because the site is falling apart. It's really sad. But anyway, I just want to share this because I'm so frustrated, and like, we see what you're doing, Musk. You're not fooling anyone. Like, you think you're fooling, we can see what you're doing. It's been obvious for a while. Like, the signs have been there. So I just wanted to go on record and share this. If Twitter does go under, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to hold on as long as I can. I will still be there, screaming into the void, sharing information, retweeting. So yeah, I share my Wordle. I used to do it every day. I still play Wordle every day, but I only share my scores on the days when I'm online. So I play the Wordle. I reply to tweets that people that tweet to me, and I doom scroll on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then on Catterday I just share cat tweets, GIFs, pics, whatever. So yeah, so 3 days a week. It's more manageable because yeah, it's with I've got to watch out for my health. So with the stress, the headaches, and the eye strain, I'm spending less time online, and I'm not live tweeting anymore. So yeah, but I'll still be on Twitter and always be on YouTube. Hopefully nobody buys that and ruins it. Oh, so apparently now Musk, he's stepped down as CEO. He has an NBC Universal executive, Linda Yaccarino. She's replaced him, and now he is, so Musk's new title is CTO, Cruel Tyrannical Ogre. Okay, now Chief Technology Officer, because he's just so great with technology, like the site's been falling apart since he bought it. I mean, it doesn't help that he fired 6,000 employees and now he's got a skeleton crew, and it's not only not user-friendly, it's user hostile and advertiser hostile. Why would anyone even be on it now? It's pushing you away. So it's completely insane. From the guy who claimed to want free speech and now tries to charge for it and now suppresses and censors information, it's completely insane. Like, he's lost all credibility. Twitter's lost credibility. But I hope it survives in spite of him. Certainly won't be because of him. Oh, and another copycat that's now coming up, Mark Zuckerberg, of course, the creator of Facebook. His latest thing is some Instagram app called Threads, which is supposed to be like Twitter. And I guess there's a bit of rivalry between Musk and Zuckerberg, like they joked about fighting each other or whatever. It's like, but that's coming out maybe even as we speak. I think it's coming out this week, Threads. Someone described it as like a messier Twitter. They said it's not that great, but this is the thing, like all these other sites are trying to be Twitter. No one's going to be Twitter. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not starting from scratch on another site. No. So I'll just, I don't know. I'm always going to express myself because that's always been part of who I am. But there are other ways to do that. I mean, I'll still have my YouTube videos, although I was going to start making less videos just to take it easy. But I keep having something to say, so here I am saying it. But I also paint and draw. I've been drawing lately. And I write. I can write with pen and paper, if nothing else. Like, I will always express myself. Maybe I'll write a book. But yeah, so I have loved Twitter all these years. It is a shame that this is happening now, but I am still going to try to stick around for a few days a week and, like I said, scream into the void, doom scroll, and share my funny cat pics and GIFs and whatnot. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. A guy named Kevin Cruz had this to say. I think this is very appropriate. Sometimes when I tended bar, we'd flick the lights on and off and play annoying music to chase the last stragglers out at closing time. Twitter feels like that now. It's perfect. Like, that's exactly it. It's like Musk is trying to make this as difficult and annoying and hostile as possible so that we just leave. And I mean, it's kind of working. A lot of people are leaving. They're going to other sites, and I'm not spending as much time there. It's not just because of how frustrating the site is. That definitely played a role, but it's also just my health, like my eyes and my headaches, and I just, you know, I need to find my zen. Ironically, Musk did say, he made a comment like, oh, you should spend less time on Twitter and go outdoors anyway. Like, no one's buying that. Like, you just, out of the goodness of your heart, you want to drive people off Twitter so they spend more time outside. Like, we're calling BS on that. No. You're running a social media site. The whole goal is supposed to be interaction. You should want people scrolling on it forever, and you clearly don't. So something's up. And we're not buying your story of extreme data scraping and system manipulation. Like, sure, yeah, I know there is AI now, and I've heard of the ChatGPT thing. I have no interest in it, but I'm sure they are doing something, but I'm sure that is not the reason you burned the whole house down. So, we'll see what happens, but at least I've gone on record saying this. I mean, a lot of people are talking about it. There were several articles when I Googled. Oh, and another thing I heard, that Musk stopped paying his bills to Amazon and Google. So who knows what that's going to do, but it's falling apart. Like, the man is a mess. But like his own quote, how could you tell the difference between incompetence and sabotage? I don't know, but you're either incompetent or you're deliberately sabotaging Twitter, and either way, how dare you? Anyway, that's my rant for now. Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay safe. Bye for now.